What does it take to be an NBA sportsman? Because it obviously comes across very glamorous, but it's very demanding and can be very destroying and self-destroying, I suppose. I mean, what does it take to be an NBA?
A great tolerance for mundanity. I mean, much like being good at anything, being great at anything, you just have to endure extensive periods of mundanity. And I don't think people realize, because people watch the games and they watch us arrive and they watch the fact that we have our own planes, not each of us as individuals, but teams have their own planes, and we have nice cars often. And they think, this is what being in the NBA is about, but it's really not. Being in the NBA really starts with, after the game, you get into the locker room, and you've got 10 minutes to shower before the media can come in and ask you any question they want. You know that after that period, half of your team who didn't play enough minutes, you don't play about 25, 30 minutes a game, you run a risk of losing your edge, will have to go into another side locker room, get on a bike or a treadmill, and run for 45 minutes. And if you did play enough minutes, all of us guys are sat in a row in our own individual ice baths, chattering teeth. Then we go home, we eat some food, and we fall asleep. And you wake up the next day, and you have to stretch. And it sounds simple, but 100 games a year, stretching gets to be a challenge. You go to the gym, you do your weights, you do your yoga, you practice for 2 hours. You eat some food, you come back, you practice for an hour on your own. You sleep. And it's just repeat.
Hotel rooms, don't know where you are.
Yeah, I mean, that, one of the most disconcerting, it seems really trite, but one of the most disconcerting things that happened was there comes a point of the season where you wake up and you feel utterly disoriented because you're looking around and they're all beautiful hotel rooms and you have your own room, and you look around and you have no idea where you are, and you are reaching into your own brain to try and remember, what day of the week is it? We landed at 2 a.m. What city did we land in? And that's all in the process. 10 o'clock in the morning, maybe, if you've had a really late night on a flight in. That's all in the process of knowing you have to eat breakfast and probably play again at 2. It's really disconcerting. So, I mean, that's what it really takes. Are you willing to? I have this narrative where I talk about paying the fee: focus, effort, execution. Are you willing to pay the fee? And if you're willing to pay the fee of staying focused on the tiny details, on the minutiae, if you're willing to put in effort in every moment, not every other, not the ones where people are watching, every moment, and then above that, execute, which is not just do things with great intensity, but do things perfectly with great intensity, always, then you can be great. Not asking too much.
So then, did you move to Orlando Magic afterwards? Was that the next move?
No, actually, I had to. After my first year with Cleveland, I signed a 2-year contract with them. After my first year with Cleveland, they would have me back, but the truth was, I just wasn't good enough. I wasn't good enough as a player, and I knew that if I stayed in the NBA, which is what I wanted to do for ego purposes, 2 things would be true. 1, I wouldn't be maximizing income for a job that has an average career length of just less than 3 years. And 2, I knew I wouldn't get exponentially better, which is what I needed to do in order to be more than an average NBA player. And so instead I went to Europe. And I did find, I found the best team in Europe. I quite literally went to the European champions and played on essentially an all-star team in Greece for a team called Panathinaikos. I still have Greek people in London yelling at me through their car windows, in a nice way for a change, actually. And I played for them and got, I played every minute and really had a chance to work on my game in game situations against the best competition in Europe, which is not as good as the NBA, but still very good. The year after that, I went, I don't know where I went. Did I go to...
Was it Bologna?
I think, no, I went to, yes, that's right, Kinder Bologna. And then, another team that was a European champion or thereabouts, a chance to work on my game. And every summer I came back and I did that same grueling give me a chance, begging teams to give me a shot because I'm a different, better player now. And every year I did that for 2, 3, 4 years before I finally got my shot with Orlando.